from time to time, and we are also trying to give an image about MATE, what it does, so that our partners can know that we are doing some of the things that they feel missing in the educational system. But MATE, as an NGO, is trying to fill in the gaps that needs to fill. There are different projects that MATE is running nationwide. There is the big student-based program, which is the Circles, or a club of instructional resources for culture and language enhancement. There is also a virtual project with an international organization, which is Global Nomads Group. There is also the Access program, which is pending at the moment, and we hope it will be again starting. We have a new teacher-based and supervisor-based program, which is the TLCs and the LLPs, and you will know about these in a few seconds. So there are also the work that the branches are doing in different places of Morocco. We have about 20 MATE branches in different places, and they are doing some amazing work. They have their own agendas, their action plans, which might convene with mates, and they might have their own local needs and local projects. First, I'm going to give the floor to Bafkas to talk about the service.
Thank you, Sahsi. Good evening, everyone. Very happy to be among you here. I'm not going to take a lot of time talking about circles, because circles is one of the topic of my presentation, I think, on Thursday. Just, of course, circles is a student-based, say, project that MATE is involved in, and especially active members of MATE in Morocco nationwide are involved in. Circles stands for Club of Instructional Resources for Culture and Language Enhancement. That's a club that we have in our schools, and teachers facilitate workshops and activities every Friday afternoon or Saturday. What's very important about this is the idea of sharing activities every Friday afternoon or Saturday or Sunday. You see a lot of activities done nationwide. Statistically, this year there are 140 circles in Morocco. All of them are active. We want to talk about two things about circles. The new thing this year, in the past we had period 1 and period 2 action plans. After each period there is a portfolio of evidence. This year we decided to have just an annual action plan, which means a plan for all the year. Then we have portfolio at the end. That's all I can say about circles, because I don't want to destroy my presentation in 2 or 3 days. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. And the circles are started 4 years ago.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to say anything about that.
Okay, the other project, which is teacher-based, is managed by MATE in close collaboration with Simon Cotton, an old friend of us. Our friendship goes back to 2009, 2010 with Connected Classrooms. He's coming back with Turbo. What? He's going to talk about that.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be here. It's great to be amongst you all, and I feel very privileged and happy to be here amongst some of the most, how should I put it, most enthusiastic, talented, hardworking and amazing teachers that I've ever worked with, the ELT community. So the two things that I'm going to be working on with colleagues in MATE over the next little while. One of them is called Teacher Learning Communities, which is not a new idea, but we're going to do it in a new way. In a nutshell, if you want to find out about it, you need to come to my workshop. But I can probably do it in about, I'll give you a 1-minute overview, which is it's voluntary, self-directed, focused professional development for teachers who organise themselves into groups, but then follow quite a tight structure in order to act out of the time that they commit to their own professional learning. We turbocharge it, as my friend Mohammed Hassim said, by gradually skilling you up, or trying to skill you up, or passing things on to you which you will find hopefully useful, and which you will at some point possibly adapt as well for your own context. And we're talking about tools for, not just for planning, but also for a more forensic, action-based, impact-oriented way of working. The second project that I'm going to be working on in collaboration with MATE and very closely with Mohammed Hassim is the Leadership for Learning program. Initially, we're going to do this with the supervisors. I don't really know what I want to say about that, except to say that, well, the supervisors are beautifully placed to be agents of change thanks to the fact that the people they are working with are open to change. So the supervisors can only be as impactful and as effective as you, because you are at the chalk face, you are at the cutting edge. So my intention and dream or ambition, our intention and ambition is to make sure that they can respond to your needs in terms of supporting your professional development. I think that's probably the best way to put it, isn't it? So that you can be even more effective as agents of change within your particular settings. So two things going on in parallel. They complement each other, and they are designed to work hand in glove with each other, and I'm really happy that it seems to be happening.
Thank you. So that's 3 minutes.
That was 3 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you. In fact, it's difficult to say teacher-centered or teacher-based and student-based. It's difficult to separate students from teachers and teachers from... When you have self-directed or self-trained teachers, their impact on students is positive, of course. And when you work with students, of course, you cannot work with the students without the teachers. So see, if Amy is going to talk about 2 projects, they are interrelated. The caravan, what is called the caravan, the CPD caravan, and also another project which is virtual, but it has certain training within it for teachers.
Thank you, Siasim. I would like to go back to what Sib Makhlouf Samir said a few minutes ago about this virtual connection between students in Morocco and students in the United States, etc. So, and as usual, MATE does things that cannot be done by the official authorities, etc. So we have been involved in so many programs, and one of the virtual programs is that involves virtual exchange with students from the United States and from other parts of the world, from Jordan, etc. But mainly we have kind of we work closely with the Global Nomads Groups organization. It's a famous organization, and we connect classes or students from Morocco with students in the United States, and in the exchange topics they talk about their culture. They try to try to understand each other and to get across some messages about, and to forget about their differences and focus on similarities, etc. So that's one thing. And of course this year we don't have just Campfire program, which is part of this that is of the work done by MATE and G&G. We have Campfire program, and Campfire, the idea of Campfire is that people get together and then there is fire in the middle, and of course people start talking. So we're doing this virtually. We're trying to, we're trying to help students and teachers to see what's happening in the other parts of the world, etc. And of course that opens the eyes of students, etc. So we have so many centers working this year, and next year we'll have more and more centers and more students from different regions of Morocco. And of course we'll be here. If you are interested, you can apply, and we can see what we can do with you, even in different regions of Morocco. The other program related to GNG and MATE is Student to World. That is, the student is like addressing the world about his or her problems and the interests and the hobbies, lots of things that they talk about. And of course they talk about sometimes global issues like there is protection of the environment and so many other things. That's about GNG. As for the caravan, this is the new and one of the most important project that MATE launched this year. And I think we have already visited so many places in Morocco. We started from Marrakech, then Zagora, Ouarzazate, Shishawa, Fez, Bqim Saleh ibn Bilal region, Zilal, etc., those things, and Gilmim, Tantan, and we will be in other, after the conference, and Tidwan. Sishdudi was one of the speakers that visited so many places, and I think Sirahou in Shishawa, Si Asim, Si Abdullah Yusfi, Si Baqaz, and so many other speakers that we would like to thank. So we visit, and this is part of training. We are moving training from something centered like this in the conference, but we're moving to other areas to join those people. And I think we will visit your cities. Just be patient with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shaheen. And we move to Mr. President to talk about the work of the branches. As we say, they are also independent entities within the association. And he's also going to talk about the current conference.
Before that, I'm going to invite you to sing. I have had too much talk this evening. Nasi Nas, Nasi Nas, can you say with me? Nasi Nas, ما يريخ هذا سيخ الزمن نور اليوم في المغاسل شيولنا ديت سمونا يمانو. Didn't know that about me. That was right. Okay, thank you very much. It was just a funny aspect of this. I'm not going to be long talking about local branches. Mainly, the local branches are trying to disseminate the efforts that MATE is trying to contribute to the continuous development of teachers across the country. And MATE local branches now are called upon to come together as regional communities. They want to be local branches, want them to come together, work together, and try to face their needs collectively and respond to the region's needs in terms of personal development of teachers as well as in terms of capacity building for students. There are some programs that, interesting programs that MATE local branches are putting forward, including public speaking competitions. We have poetry contests launched by the ministry as well in partnership with MATE. We have spell and bee competitions. We have storytelling, iconic storytelling, Al-Qissa al-Muswara. We have MATE circles as well, MATE circle programs. We have GNG programs, and we have also learning communities that Simon is going to bring into your area where we set up the schedule for that. There is also another, I want to be very brief, there's another element that I wanted to introduce for the first time into this conference, which is communicating with you as an audience. I'm going to ask you one question, they're going to take at least 8 to 10 reactions. My question is, what are your expectations out of this conference? We're going to try to take them either as questions or as comments or as declarative sentences. And this is going to help the speakers tomorrow when they are making their interventions to react when there is a possibility of making a hyperlink with a question raised from the audience to respond to those questions and to those concerns or worries. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Speak to me, please.
Expectations, yeah.
What do you expect out of this conference?
Thank you so much. I've come here in order to meet experts in LT because my objective is to develop and progress professionally. I want to be an effective teacher and be an agent of change in teaching English in Morocco. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for organizing this conference. My expectations are related to practical, insights that can help teacher to progress and to develop his professional experience. Thank you very much.
Ladies first.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this. I'm glad to be here among you, and I'm expecting to get on to this conference with strategies, tools, and techniques to integrate mainly leadership and entrepreneurship and a lot of skills, including I would say critical thinking and how students would solve problems related to the world, and how to move students, how to feel students that they are working for the job market. They are not working for just memorizing stuff, memorizing rules, history, or whatever, but mainly to prepare them to the job market and the world of work. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My expectations are very simple. First, I'd like to learn new and really practical ideas. I've been learning a lot of ideas, but I think the most important thing is to have practical ideas that we can use in our back in our classrooms. That's one expectation. Another expectation is to simply have fun with my friends here and maybe meet other friends. And I haven't met a lot of colleagues for years, and it's an opportunity to enjoy talking to friends and colleagues, especially Mr. Hasim and Mr. Baqas and everyone.
Hello everybody. So my expectation out of this conference is that it's going to, I'm sure, it brings something new and challenging. And I think if we do not change, change will change us, for sure.
Yes. Suppose you did.
Hello everybody. So thrilled to be with you here today, and I would like to thank you for this opportunity and of professional development, which is really necessary for teachers. And a good teacher is someone who keeps up to date all the time, of course. And this is the main reason why we are here. I just have a question because I work in a private institution, so I don't know if MATE's activities, caravans, and circles can be or can visit our school one day in Agadir, inshallah. Thank you so much. That's it.
thank you very much for voicing your expectations, and we hope that these expectations would be met during these 3 days. And we are also happy to meet different people we haven't seen for so long, and there are a lot of generations here that are meeting in one event. And the aim of this panel is just to give you a flavor of what MATE is doing. It's not only the conference, but there are a lot of things running throughout the year in different places. And we hope that you just come close and jump over and continue the ride, whether on the caravan or through the circles or whatever. So during these 3 days, you will have enough time to talk about these things. If you need more information about these projects, there are a lot of people here who can tell you about them, and there are even people who have run through these experiences, either the circles or the caravans or the G&G project or even Access and many others. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.